The Kate Martin versus Angel Reese matchup was big. These two matching up in Unrivaled, it was physical. Kate Martin's coming across and Angel Reese kicks out that right leg. It looks worse.
This is all surrounding a basketball league that nobody was watching.
The rivalry just took an unexpected turn. Angel Reese, known for her bold on-court presence, finally met her match, Kate Martin, who put Reese in her place with a punishing response that left fans stunned.
Angel Reese got a little bit of her own medicine last night from Kate Martin, who's pretty tight with Caitlin Clark. Now, she flopped around on the ground like she's LeBron's play cousin out there. Barely any contact, fall on the ground and start flopping around. Kate low-key revenge, fouling Angel.
It wasn't just a foul, it was payback. Reese initiated the contact, but Martin made sure she finished it. The moment was so intense, the internet exploded with reactions, with fans calling it the ultimate humiliation.
These two were matching up, and it's funny, people were like, Kate Martin still has beef with Angel Reese because of her friend. It's like, no, not at all. Kate Martin has beef with Angel Reese because Kate Martin was on the team where this happened. That LSU team and that Iowa team did not like each other. That was an actual rivalry.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is proving once again why she is the most dominant force in basketball today. She's setting her sights on the NBA's three-point contest, with some believing she could even challenge the great Steph Curry himself.
I said, yeah, she's winning that NBA All-Star three-point contest. Sorry, Steph.
Caitlin Curry Clark. I gotta get it right. That's what she is.
But is Clark truly ready to take down the best in the game? We have the facts, the footage, and the inside scoop, so stick around because this is going to be huge.
It's going to be Steph Curry and Klay Thompson versus Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has already cemented herself as the greatest shooter in women's basketball today, and now the NBA wants her to bring her talent to the grandest stage of all, the NBA All-Star three-point contest.
Someone else said Steph hit 100+ threes in a row, and that's very true. And I know also that Steph is going to be super hyped for this matchup.
With Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Sabrina Ionescu expected to headline the event, the possibility of Clark stepping onto that court is sending shockwaves through the basketball world.
He's not going to miss out on having Times Athlete of the Year, the most famous basketball player in the world at this moment, in Caitlin Clark at NBA All-Star Weekend.
But here's the twist. Clark isn't just considering it, she's actively training like she's already in it. Reports have surfaced showing her locked in on the court, running full-speed drills, perfecting her shot mechanics, and ensuring that no defender, no distance, and no pressure will stop her from dominating.
With it getting closer to NBA All-Star, but I guarantee you that she is preparing for this NBA three-point shooting contest.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw in women's basketball, and without her, many fans just aren't going to tune in.
While many doubted whether a WNBA player could hold her own against NBA sharpshooters, Clark is proving those skeptics wrong before the contest even begins. A recent leaked workout video showed Clark draining 50 out of 54 three-pointers, an astonishing feat that even the best shooters in NBA history would struggle to replicate.
Now, Caitlin Clark also just celebrated a birthday a couple days ago, and for her birthday, she was in the gym, and she went 50 for 54 from three on her birthday.
In fact, Clark's consistency is so ridiculous that during her birthday training session, she reportedly never missed 2 shots in a row. That's not just elite, that's generational talent. Even though Clark's official decision on the NBA three-point contest hasn't been confirmed, discussions between the league and her camp are ongoing.
So as you can see, Coach Keith Porter is there. Coach KP told me that one of his goals for Caitlin was just to expand her bag. So no matter what defense is thrown at her, she has something for it. Caitlin Clark wants to drop 20 or 30 a game. They're just gonna have to accept that because there's not much they can do to stop her.
While some claim she's hesitant due to the format, where shooters fire from ball racks instead of in-game motion, it's clear that her skills translate seamlessly to any shooting environment. The NBA knows her presence at the event would be must-watch television, a marketing goldmine that could bring in millions of viewers, especially given the surge in basketball's popularity due to Clark's influence.
Some spoilers from the video. So she never misses 2 3-pointers in a row throughout these 54 shots that she took. Somebody said, how about she tries with a size 7 when that happens? We know that that also will not be a problem for Caitlin because she's already shooting.
But let's talk facts. The numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark is already shooting at an NBA level. Her range extends well beyond the arc, often hitting shots from 30-plus feet, a trademark of the greatest shooters in history. Some fans are even suggesting that if anyone in the WNBA could challenge Curry in a shootout, it's her.
So even though we are not able to see Caitlin Clark play in an organized league this offseason, we are getting to see her go game speed, and it'll just be really exciting to see how these little tweaks add up to the full package of Caitlin Clark gameplay that we will hopefully see during this next WNBA season.
The anticipation for this contest is building by the day, and with rumors swirling that the event will be held between the NBA All-Star semifinals and the championship game, Clark could be on the verge of stepping onto a stage where she will once again make history.
Caitlin Clark's star is only going to shine brighter because she handles herself with grace and class.
The question is, will she accept the challenge? Or is she saving this for a bigger moment in her career? One thing is certain, Caitlin Clark is proving that she's not just the best shooter in women's basketball. She's one of the best shooters in basketball, period.
The ratings were phenomenal because of Caitlin Clark. She didn't want to take credit for all of those ratings, but we all realize that Caitlin Clark single-handedly is responsible for the WNBA mattering.
Let's talk a little Angel Reese.
Angel Reese has built a reputation as one of the most aggressive players in women's basketball, always playing with an edge and embracing her villain role.
There is not a single grateful person I ever hear from in this league, and Angel Reese is a prime example of this.
If they attack Caitlin Clark, their names are too going to be in the headlines. We saw dirty play after dirty play on Caitlin Clark, and still, Caitlin Clark is just such a class act.
But in a recent 3-on-3 game, she found herself on the receiving end of a moment she won't forget anytime soon. Kate Martin, Caitlin Clark's former Iowa teammate, delivered a statement. One that left Reese humiliated in front of everyone watching.
Kate Martin ain't playing. You will lose. Shit, don't mess with Kate Martin out there, folks.
It all started with Reese's usual physical style of play.
Some of the most embarrassing things we've ever seen happen on a basketball court.
She attempted to assert dominance over Martin early in the game, using her size and strength to get an advantage. But Martin wasn't backing down. She took the challenge head on and played lockdown defense, making it clear that she wasn't intimidated.
No way in hell does Angel Reese score on this if Martin doesn't foul her. Completely out of control. So she was driving to the basket. OMG, Kate almost sent back to the bayou.
Then came the defining moment. Reese charged toward the hoop, expecting an easy basket. Instead, Martin met her in midair with a hard, clean foul that sent Reese crashing to the ground. The impact was so intense that social media erupted, with fans joking that Martin had sent Reese back to the bayou.
Fans of Angel Reese, Barbie, are upset by commentary from YouTube videos and social media platforms.
The reaction was instant. Reese's supporters were furious, calling it a dirty play, but the reality, it was simply Martin delivering payback.
Angel Reese posted, "Using my name for clicks is literally a drug. We give people what they want, whatever they want to see."
Reese initiated the contact first, attempting to bully Martin earlier in the game. But instead of backing down, Martin responded with authority, proving that she wasn't going to be pushed around.
Angel Reese got a little bit of her own medicine last night from Kate Martin, who's pretty tight with Caitlin Clark. Now, she flopped around on the ground like she's LeBron's play cousin out there. Barely any contact, fall on the ground and start flopping around. Kate low-key revenge, fouling Angel.
And just like that, the narrative shifted. Reese, who always loved dishing it out, was now on the receiving end, and it wasn't pretty. Fans took to social media to weigh in, with some saying it was the most satisfying moment and unrivaled so far.
I'm not allowed to talk about her missing layups left and right, but she can go on her podcast and talk about Caitlin Clark or anything else that she wants to. But her supporters, oh, they're mad. Could you hit a rim? Could you not airball to the thousands of people that's watching on TV? It's a pretty poor looking product on television. The announcers simply pretended Angel Reese airball on the three didn't happen.
Others pointed out that Reese, who has often accused opponents of flopping, was now dramatically rolling around on the floor like LeBron James, trying to sell the foul. One fan wrote, "Kate Martin just gave Reese a taste of her own medicine. She wasn't ready for it." Another added, "Angel Reese finally met someone who isn't afraid to stand up to her nonsense."
fan of hers said, report them YouTube videos. Cut off their income. You got incels paying their mortgage and car note off hating you. Cut them off. I mean, seriously, are you kidding me? You have no clue how YouTube works. Her fans are wild. YouTube's not going to rip down a channel just because you don't like the commentary. Sorry if you don't like opinions.
But this wasn't just about a single play. Kate Martin is making a name for herself, stepping out of Clark's shadow and proving she belongs at the highest level.
Nobody is coming close to the power of the Caitlin Clark effect. Like, they're just not.
While Reese continues to struggle with consistency and team success, Martin has been a rising star and unrivaled, putting up impressive performances and showing that she can be a game-changing force on both ends of the floor.
This is her play of the night right here. This is what she needs to do a lot more of for the Sky, for the Rose. That nice little pass out to Lexi Hull, who knocked down the three-pointer. Luckily, nobody was there to see that. I'm sure there wasn't anybody watching on TV either.
For Reese, this game was a wake-up call. She has spent so much time targeting Clark and stirring up controversy that she didn't see Martin coming. And now, the world has seen it. When Angel Reese tries to impose her will on the wrong opponent, sometimes she's the one who ends up on the floor.
And I don't know what it is about Angel Reese. When she puts up real productive numbers, her teams lose. Angel Reese goes off and they lose. 3 for 5 from the field. My goodness. 17.7 boards, right?
Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating on the court, she's building a legacy that extends far beyond basketball. While her scoring records and jaw-dropping performances have made her a household name, her impact off the court is proving to be just as powerful. Clark isn't just about winning games, she's about uplifting those around her, supporting her community, and creating lasting change.
Because Caitlin Clark exists on planet Earth, people actually know who Angel Reese is, right?
The boil on Caitlin Clark's ass, Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss a layup?
It's here that we need to just realize Angel Reese is playing. And, she's been very big on herself as being a massive draw. If that is in fact the truth, then why are people not watching with the same excitedness that they were watching Caitlin Clark?
Recently, Clark made headlines again, not for a record-breaking three-point performance, but for her generosity. Through her Caitlin Clark Foundation, she donated a staggering $22,000 grants to 4 Iowa-based charities, including the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, the Coralville Community Food Pantry, the Boys and Girls Club of the Corridor, and Special Olympics Iowa, East Central.
The one thing we know that women's basketball is not comfortable with, good marketing. Caitlin Clark are good marketing. I mean, Caitlin Clark comes in the WNBA, their cash cow shows up, they avoid her. They think Caitlin Clark is the COVID. The whole league just tried to stay away from her as much as humanly possible when they should be entirely leaning in.
These aren't just random selections. These are organizations that shaped Clark's journey and inspired her throughout her years at the University of Iowa. She made it clear that giving back is just as important to her as hitting deep threes. But her commitment to uplifting those around her goes beyond philanthropy.
Caitlin Clark actually reportedly inquired as to whether or not opposing teams could be paid more money due to her having the ability to sell out road games, right? Because of her star power. She is not in the game merely to boost her own persona. In the Indiana Fever, president Allison Barber revealed this request made by Clark during the season. Listen.
After a few away games and all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team players. She said, wow, we're making all this new revenue, and I would like the away team to benefit from that. Could they get a spot bonus? So that's the heart of Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a classy, amazing person.
Caitlin Clark to approach the president of the WNBA and make this request. A 22-year-old. The maturity level that she possesses is unfound. I mean, so much respect for her.
Clark has also expressed a strong desire to reunite with her former Iowa teammate Kate Martin in the WNBA, seeing her as a key piece to the Indiana Fever's success. While Clark has already established herself as the future of the franchise, she understands that championships aren't won alone. Her vision of playing alongside Martin isn't just about friendship, it's about building a culture of chemistry and toughness, the same qualities that made them a dominant duo at Iowa.
The Clark effect led to WNBA games that didn't even feature Clark drawing an average of 400,000 viewers. It's the Caitlin Clark effect.
The Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game, 2.3 million. Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever, 2.25 million. Fever versus the Storm, 2.2 million. Sun versus the Fever, 2.1 million. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying.
Clark's leadership extends even further. She's not just a player, she's a cultural icon, attracting new fans to the WNBA and proving that women's basketball is more exciting than ever. Whether it's her unmatched shooting range, her competitive fire, or her ability to elevate her teammates, Clark has become the face of the league in record time. And the numbers back it up. Wherever she plays, ticket sales skyrocket, TV ratings soar, and arenas are packed.
The main reason the WNBA was in the mainstream last season, it was all the drama. They were talking about the jealousy. They were talking about the hatred of Caitlin Clark. They were talking about the constant whining and complaining. Unrivaled is missing both of those components. They don't have a mainstream draw and they don't have the drama.
The Indiana Fever went from an afterthought to a must-watch team, all because of Clark's presence. But despite all her success, Clark remains grounded and focused. She recently took time off from the spotlight to recharge, proving that while she thrives under pressure, she understands the importance of balance. Even when she's off the court, she's still making an impact, whether it's attending a Kansas City Chiefs game with Taylor Swift or continuing to inspire the next generation of young athletes.
Caitlin Clark has a lot going on right now. She just turned 23 years old. She obviously had a monster rookie season. Time named her Athlete of the Year. She's got a boyfriend. She's got Taylor Swift as her new bestie. She wants to hang out. Most people who know Caitlin Clark probably are not WNBA fans, but they know of her because of her greatness. They were mentioning Caitlin Clark's name just as much as they were mentioning Taylor Swift, which shows you that even the NFL recognizes the power of Caitlin Clark. She's become completely mainstream. She is a household name.
At just 22 years old, Caitlin Clark's legacy is already being written, not just as an all-time great basketball player, but as a leader, a role model, and a game changer in women's sports. The best part? She's just getting started. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game, she's redefining what's possible. Whether she's out shooting NBA legends, dominating the WNBA, or giving back to her community, Clark's impact is undeniable. She's not just a player, she's a movement.
Tell me when the last time all these players been in the league all this time. Yes. You name all the prominent players. Tell me the time the WNBA has had this much buzz. I'll wait. Everybody in the chat that y'all was saying, oh, these women been in the league before Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Tell me the time they had this much buzz. Tell me the time they had this many eyes on the draft. Tell me this many times they had watching WNBA preseason games. I'm just waiting. Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, chat. Take off. That's just like saying, oh, the NBA, they were great players before Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. He didn't get this buzz when they got there, did it?
Right.
And then Michael Jordan took it to another level.
Right.
And the same thing, they took cheap shots on Michael Jordan. They froze him out of the All-Star game. So this is not unique. The game that the Las Vegas Aces played against with Caitlin Clark, the tickets were triple.
And as she continues to break records, inspire the next generation, and silence her doubters, one thing is clear: she's only getting started. Meanwhile, Kate Martin just sent a loud and clear message to Angel Reese. This isn't college anymore. The tough girl act won't work when you face real competition. Martin stood her ground, delivered payback, and made sure Reese knew that physical play goes both ways. With Clark's dominance.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300.
The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
Martin's rise and the ongoing drama surrounding Reese, the basketball world is heating up like never before. And as we look ahead, one question remains: who's going to stop Caitlin Clark? Because right now, the answer is no one. What do you think? Should Clark take on Steph Curry in the NBA three-point contest? And did Kate Martin just expose Angel Reese once and for all? Let us know in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more hard-hitting, fact-based takes on the biggest stories in sports. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning.